Good morning, taste buds. The school bells are ringing once again, as if schools even had bells anymore. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Join me today as I give you recipes high in nutrition to get those kids really ready for learning today on SoFlo Taste. How fun is that? Good morning all, I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein coming to you live from the Goya Kitchen at J World in Coconut Creek. So, are you happy the kids are back in school? Because the next question is, are the kids happy that they're back in school? Well, I've got some recipes today that will definitely help them be a bit happier. So today I thought it would be fun to give you good, solid nutrition to wake up those summer vacation brain cells and get them ready for even more learning. So let's get cooking. The first thing I wanted to make is lasagna, because who doesn't love lasagna? But how do you get a lasagna packed filled with really good, not only vitamins, but also maybe a little more protein? We started out by making a traditional style bolognese sauce. So this is just onions and carrots and a little bit of garlic and of course a little bit of ground beef. But to add to that, we're taking a can of lentils, and I'm just going to add the lentils to the ground beef. Now, why is it you don't notice it? You can't really tell the texture of the lentil because you've got the soft onions and the carrots and the beef, and so it all starts mixing together. And I'd be surprised if y'all could tell me if you could really see the lentil in there, and I just added them in. I'm going to add to that a little bit of your favorite tomato sauce. I usually keep some in the freezer, but I happened to just run out, so I decided to just get my favorite jar of tomato sauce and pour it right in. I think one jar is enough, but we brought two just in case. So while that mixes together and heats up really well, let's move over to my favorite thing. So, you know, there's two rules to lasagna. You have to, if it's gonna be great, you have to either use ricotta or bechamel. I've made bechamel before, and I've actually made Parmesan bechamel before. But how do you find that? So all of my recipes are available on the SoFlo Shows webpage. Just scan this quick response code. You'll be rocketed to the fabulous SoFlo Shows page. You'll also see this QRC on the ingredients list throughout the show. But remember, there's three little lines they call a hamburger. Three little lines up on the left. Just hit that. It'll take you to a little search box. And if you type in the recipe you're looking for, you will always find it, as long as I've made it. So there you go. All right, so that is the Parmesan bechamel, and it's creamy. It tastes like Parmesan. It's made with milk, another protein. We've got this now lentil-filled, gorgeous bolognese. I'm gonna throw in some little tiny diced mushrooms into the bolognese. Mushrooms are so good for inflammation and all kinds of things. We use a lot of mushrooms in our house. I'm gonna throw a little bit of, you can either blanch and chop up and drain spinach, or you can use frozen spinach and just drain it and chop it up as well. That's what this is, and throw that into your bechamel. So that's gonna be a creamy, slightly green tinted bechamel. And then finally, I've got some little tiny bits of cauliflower. I find that kids don't find cauliflower very offensive. It's a little bit of a softer taste, and my kid loves it. So try this out. So this is blanched. If you'd rather roast it, you can do that. So we're gonna take all these ingredients and make a lasagna. I'm gonna use the oven-ready lasagna sheets because it just makes your life so much easier. You don't have to boil the pasta. I love to soak the lasagna sheets in very hot water because it makes them more pliable. And once they're soft like that, you can just layer them into your, whatever it is, what kind of dish or casserole dish that you use. And you see how now it folds up into the pan ever so easily. It doesn't break. Like normally, you know, you try to put a lasagna sheet something square into something round, obviously you have to break a piece off for it to fit in, but because it's softer now, it just molds into the bottom of it. If you want, you can start with a pasta. I normally start with a sauce, but you know, for this fun experiment that I'm doing with you today, I'm just gonna put pasta down first. It's gonna hold all this heavy sauce together really well. So the first thing I'll do is put the bolognese with all those delicious mushrooms, lentils, and flavor. And it's actually a quite delicate bolognese, and I think everybody in the family would like this. Then do a layer of your spinach bechamel right on top. Not too much. If you go heavy with too many ingredients in a lasagna, you know, it doesn't work. It gets too heavy and it all kind of falls through. But if you softly place each ingredient in there, don't go too heavy, spread it out really nicely. And then we're going to add a little bit of this cauliflower, and we're going to layer it all up until the absolute top. The last topping will be, just after the bolognese, will be the bechamel, a little bit of mozzarella, and then we're going to put it in the oven. I always cover it first with aluminum that has been sprayed with a little bit of oil, and that should take us about 40 minutes. Obviously, we have so much more to do in between all that time, so come right back. I'm going to throw this in the oven after I layer it up, and we've got tons more great recipes for the whole family to enjoy. See you in a minute.
There's still more from the Goya Kitchen at J.A. World and Michelle.
Welcome back to our SoFlo Taste episode about what to feed kids when they get back in school, giving them all those nutrients that they need, but filling their bellies with goodness. All right, so the next thing I wanted to teach you is a really delicious fish stick plate, like the whole plate. I'm gonna give you the veggies, the fish stick, the good dipping sauce for it, the whole bit. I have this gorgeous, gorgeous codfish. You can also use halibut. And this comes from Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. If you're gonna make fish for your kids, you want beautiful fish that doesn't taste like fish, it tastes like the ocean. And my friends over at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market want me to remind you, Rosh Hashanah begins September 25th. So go to Delaware for incredibly fresh, made in-house, unbelievable gefilte fish. Who does that anymore? Or have them grind the fish for you. They'll do it just like Booby used to. So save time in the kitchen with Delaware's rotisserie chicken, turkeys, ducks. Their lamb shanks are gorgeous. Their horseradish with beets, you know, grain. Anyway, they have everything. And if you're not Jewish, they also have everything. Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market is located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. Just go to DelawareChicken.com or call them at 954-983-6831. Place an order and tell them Chef Michelle sent you. So we're going to do a standard breading procedure. So this flour is delicately seasoned with a little salt and pepper. So we're just going to flour. Now, normally I would saute this or fry it, shallow fry, but I'm going to go into an oven. We're trying not to fry so much these days at home. So I decided to start baking lots of stuff, and I have to tell you, not bad. I should have baked a long time ago. Now, I still make my milanesas in oil, but this is pretty good. I've decided to serve my fish today with a little cooked and raw crudité for the kids. My kid loves cooked green beans and raw carrots. So I'm gonna teach you how to do that. These are just some green beans that we cleaned both sides of. I'm gonna throw that in some boiling, delicately salted water. I've got my ice bath ready. I'm gonna keep going with my fish. And I'm gonna teach you how to make a combo of ranch dressing and tartar sauce. So it'll be a mix of those two. So make sure this is panko breading or breadcrumbs. And so it's gonna be even a crispier topping than normal breadcrumbs. Now I'm sitting everything on, as you can see, a little baking rack right here. And I sprayed the baking rack with some cooking spray so that it doesn't stick at all. So make sure, you know, when you're breading that every little piece of the fish is coated with breadcrumbs. You don't want any naked pieces of fish. So how long do vegetables take while they blanch in salted boiling water? Do you like them with a little crunch or do you like them really soft? I love when my French beans have a slight waxiness to them when you bite in, but don't have any crunch. So I'm going to cook them until they're very tender. I also want them to be very bright green and beautiful. I don't want them to be dark. So I would say the perfect time would be about 2 to 3 minutes depending on the size of the bean. These were pretty fat beans, so I'm going to probably maybe go up to 3. If you don't have an ice bath ready, stop what you're doing and go get one. An ice bath not only stops the cooking process, it really shocks that bean. It keeps it really beautifully bright green. Okay, I think we have enough fish now, breaded. So let's throw the fish into the oven and stop the cooking process on the green beans. Oh, there's something I wanted to show you. You see how my lasagna is dripping a little bit, which is really what you want because you want it to look messy and rustic and delicious. Always put a little pan underneath to catch all the drippings of your lasagna. I did put a little foil on that little pan so that I don't have to scrub the pan clean afterwards. It will be clean. So I'm going to put my fish up here and let that cook at about 350 degrees. It should only take about 8 to 10 minutes. So let's finish these green beans and make our quick sauce. So we're going to take all that and put it right into an ice bath. Now if you want to cook your carrots, you can make them exactly the same way in this water as soon as the green beans are done. But like I said, my son likes the carrots raw and the green beans cooked. All right, so let those cool for just a couple seconds. I have a little cookie sheet here with a little paper towel on it so that once they're cold, they go right on there. Let's talk about this ranch dressing slash tartar sauce. We've got chopped up gherkin pickles, you know, those little tiny yummy ones, as well as a little bit of chopped up caper. We're going to throw those into a combination of almost 2-to-1 mayonnaise to sour cream. I've got some granulated or powdered onion, the same thing but garlic. A little bit of lemon, not too much. The kids don't like things too tangy, although some do, so you can put more lemon if you want to. Some chopped up dill, a very soft, delicate herb to the palate. And some very thinly sliced chives. I also brought along a little bit of buttermilk. This just makes everything more yummy, and it lightens the sauce, and it just makes it a little more delicious. So we're going to mix all that together. Okay, to me, my mayonnaise, which is my favorite one, I use Duke's, but it doesn't really matter. You can use what you want. I don't add salt to it because mine has enough salt. So put that in the center. You'll throw some green beans on the plate. You'll throw some carrot sticks on the plate. And when you come back, we'll pull those fish sticks out of the oven and finish up our beautiful plate for not only your kids, but for you as well. So another back to school recipe to pump up those kids' learning ability right after the break. I'll finish this recipe right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. We're here at JA World in Coconut Creek, a place dedicated to our kids. For information about this instructional institution, go to jasouthflorida.org or call 954-979-7100. Now back to the food. All right, everyone. We are going to do a chicken satay with peanut dipping sauce, and it's going to be vibrantly delicious. I think the fish might be done. Take a quick look. Yeah, our fish is ready, but let's place this fish here. Remember I told you about all those veggies and the dipping tartar slash ranch dressing? How delicious would a plate like this be? Obviously this is a bit much for the kids, but I usually end up giving my son a plate like this and end up eating the rest. Moving on to the satay. I decided to use chicken breasts and thighs for this. They're both skinless, they're both boneless, and yes, I did get them at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. I mean, chicken's in the name, right? So where else are you gonna go? We've cut them up about an inch square, an inch size. Let me show you the marinade first. So we're gonna take some curry powder, just plain old curry powder. They also sell this in a spicy curry powder if you love heat. Red Thai curry paste, a little bit of granulated white sugar, some kosher salt, and then finally some coconut milk, unsweetened coconut milk. Please don't use the sweetened kind. We're not making drinks here or dessert. Go ahead and whisk that together. And I would say to marinate, if you can, overnight, and if not, a few hours is perfectly fine. So that looks like that. If you'd rather use all breasts, great. All thighs, happy as well. And then you take skewers. Now it depends on where you're cooking this. If you're cooking this out on your grill, go ahead and take some skewers and soak them in water for at least an hour so they don't flame up and burn when you put them on the grill. If you're using this grill pan like I am, you don't really need to do that. So we went ahead and threaded 3 skewers filled with this beautiful chicken. I put a little bit of cooking oil on the grids of my grill pan, and we're just going to place these into the pan. Funny, a waft of curry smell just came into my face. So good. All right, let's jump into the peanut sauce. If you are allergic to peanuts, you actually can use almond butter. So we've got peanut butter. We have more of that red Thai curry paste that you can get at any Asian market. A little apple cider vinegar, a little soy sauce, and a little sugar. Go ahead and whisk that together. And then you're going to add water. But you're going to add water until you get to the texture or consistency that you like. And I wouldn't add it all at the beginning. I would start little by little because it'll come back and splatter you in the face. And it is a little spicy with that Thai curry paste in it. And you just want it to be smooth and yummy. So I think we're at the time that we need to take the foil off of the lasagna so that the top browns on the lasagna. So let's take that foil off. And I'm so glad that we put that cookie sheet underneath because now it's really dripping. I hope not a lot sticks to the foil. I did spray it with cooking oil. Let's keep it going. All right, let's go ahead and add the rest of the water because it actually needs it, and keep whisking. So I have some chopped peanuts here for garnish, for Crispies. All right, and there you have it. It's creamy and delicious. So we're gonna start setting up this plate. Normally in Asian cooking, you do not peel your cucumber, so it's really up to you. But if you can try to get them to eat it, the peel is great. I mean, that dark green color is rich with a lot of different nutrients. I'm just going to cut it into thin slices, not paper thin, but nice and thin slices. And we're going to serve them with some lettuce leaves. I have the chopped peanuts right here. Let's see how the chicken is doing. Oh, beautiful. See what happens when you really use good cooking oil spray? It just flips right over. And it's becoming beautifully golden. So pretty. I think we're off to a pretty good start. We have our gorgeous fish. Lasagna's almost ready, and wait till you see how the chicken comes out. So come right back so we can put it all together and eat a beautiful meal together.
SoFlo Taste will return right after this.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste and our foods, all about feeding our kids and our families nutritious, powerful, and delicious foods. So I think our lasagna is ready. So remember, this has lentils. Shh, don't tell lentils. It has some cauliflower, which you should brag that your kids are loving cauliflower, and a little bit of spinach in the bechamel. Now our satay. Look what I'm serving this with. We've got butter lettuce, cucumbers, my favorite herbs, which are mint, basil, and cilantro for this kind of food. A little bit of julienne carrots, and of course limes in case anybody loves to squeeze a little lime on your chicken. And there you have our skewers and of course our peanut sauce. I think we did really well. It's healthy, but it's delicious and it's craveable and the kids are gonna love it. So I hope you got ideas on how to nutritionally get your kids ready for the school year. By the way, these recipes are good for you too any time of the year. What do you know about Moroccan food? Have you ever tried it? Have you ever made it? Well, join me next week and I'll teach you some Moroccan dishes from this wonderfully flavorful cuisine that I actually learned while I was there on SoFlo Taste.
Hey there, Michelle. Tomorrow on SoFlo Health, it is, of course, 9/11, and we are paying homage to a day we'll never forget at the Fort Lauderdale Fire and Safety Museum, where we'll meet with former firefighters, current firefighters, and learn about the history of firefighting. It's all tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on the one and only Local 10 for SoFlo Health.
So taste buds, again, thanks for watching. Please be smart, be safe, and be vaccinated. And I'll see you next week. Goodbye, good health, mwah, and very good taste. School days.